Hello my fellow chairs and welcome back to EU4. Today we are doing another underrated nation in EU4, this time the nation of Maravi. Last time we covered Colonial and now we are going all the way down here to East Africa. Now what makes Maravi an underrated nation is, for one, they actually have pretty solid ideas. They're not anything like amazing, but they are very solid. Within their ideas you get infantry cost, caravan power, yearly legitimacy. You also get idea cost, diplo rep, national manpower, goods produced, infantry combat ability, tax, and also national unrest. And also you start out with a pretty decent ruler who's a 334, and you also get Lundu, who's actually a subject over here, which is also very nice. This nation also starts out with a disadvantage being next to Kilwa, who is a whole mil-tech ahead of us. Now that being said, our plan for today is we're going to go ahead conquer the entire Zambezi trade node, Zanzibar trade node, and we are going to go ahead and go colonial and hopefully colonize a good portion of the Malaya, Indonesia, and Moluccas region, and basically set up a good little trade empire utilizing our goods produced and our caravan power in our ideas. Alright, so here we are as Maravi. We got about 6k guys plus our extra 3 from our vassals, so about 9k guys in total. Now, as I mentioned, we have to deal with Kilwa, which, I mean, luckily they actually don't know who we are, so we could actually kind of use that to our advantage here, improve relations with them, get ask them for knowledge sharing, and get feudalism, just like in my Katara video. And really, in terms of rivals, we're just going to rival the countries that also hate us, like Mutapa, Makua, and also Timbuktu. And even though we do have goods produced and we are going to be economically pretty powerful later on, we are pretty poor as of right now. We only make about a little bit under a ducat, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of our cavalry unit. Way too expensive. And all of a sudden we're making an extra, +1 over on the ducat side. So let's go ahead and do our estate stuff here. With all that being done, now we can focus on our religion. We are a fetishist nation, which means we do get cults from interacting, fighting battles, in dealing with other religions. But we do start out with at least 3 options at the beginning here. We get improved relations, tolerance of the true faith, and discipline. I'm sure you guys already know we're going with that discipline one. And would you look at that, I actually got a really fantastic general for my estates for once. We got a 4-3-3-1. That siege is also nice. And because we are going to be lagging behind on Kilwa in terms of technology, we are just going to go ahead and focus on mill right at the start here. Luckily our guys also an inspiring leader, so that definitely helps as well. And now we just boost this up to speed 5, and here we go. And luckily for me, Kilwa actually wants to be my friend, which does postpone the inevitable war with Kilwa a little bit. And unfortunately for me, they are knowledge sharing with Sofala, so I got to kind of wait for that. But I am fabricating on both of these guys over here, who are both allied to Mutapa, and when we get into a war with them, we're going to call in Kilwa, and that's going to set up a truce between them and Mutapa, so don't have to worry about Kilwa getting too strong on me too early. Finally, we got our claim on Makua. I'm going to co-belligerent both Mutapa and Tumbuka, and then I'm also going to call in Kilwa with the promise of land, but I'm not giving them anything, because we don't need to, so here we go. It'd be a pretty easy war, especially with that really good general. And of course, when you get the AI to just simply attach to your armies, that makes things so much easier. Because now we're just walking around just wiping these guys. Alright, so with this war being won, we finally occupy everybody over here. I'm kind of hoping, just maybe that Kilwa will be like, hey, you know what, I'll get out of here. But I know that's probably not going to happen, so yeah, we're probably going to have to just make peace here. Of course, we're going to full annex this guy. As for Mr. Mutapa over here, honestly, I like the idea of Butwa being my subject. And we could do something like this, completely cut off Kilwa. And then now, we could go ahead and annex all of Makua. Oh, well, actually, I guess we have to wait till the other guy gets out of the war, then we could do that. Whatever. Also didn't really talk about it, but we really don't have, like, a mission tree at all. I mean, we got like the Rising Lion thing here, permanent claims. This one, I think, gives us, claims, diplo rep, claims, just a generic mission tree. Also, another advantage about playing over here is, well, the fact that we have a ton of gold mines. And while Mutapa starts out in a disaster at the start of the game, we don't. We could actually utilize the gold mines. We could also utilize Zimbabwe over here, getting us even more tech cost and cheaper cost to fabricate claims. It's just a nice little great project to use. And finally, Makua, just they're accepting their fate. We also got our knowledge sharing from Kilwa. And the reason why I mentioned this, because Kilwa's now hostile towards us, but they're still going to give us the feudalism stuff. So yeah, we're going to be okay. Also, I'm not going to pick up this mill tech until I get feudalism from these guys. Kilwa also just broke our alliance, so guess what? We're now rivals, buddy. We're rivaled now. Also, don't forget to lower autonomy in all your provinces. Always nice to get more money, more manpower, though you will get more rebels. I mean, realistically, it's better in the long and the short term to just do that. Finally, with feudalism embraced, we can get both Miltech 3 and Miltech 4, so we are completely caught up on Kilwa. Once our truce is up, we're actually going to be the ones invading them. Alright, since Kilwa's kind of engaged in a pretty decent sized war here, with Ajuran, Mogadishu, and Mombasa up to the north, we're just going to go ahead and invade them. They're just a little bit on our 100% war score. I'd imagine with these two, let's see, 26, that might put them over 100%, but I do want to just full annex these guys. Then I also get Safala as a subject. Tier 2 government reform, we're just going to go with martial society. Without fighting any battles, we already full occupy Kilwa. Now we literally just have to wait. Or not. I mean, I guess we could just straight up full annex these guys. I don't think they have any. Wait, they have a province in Zanzibar. I forgot about that. Never mind, we have to wait just a little bit longer. And they just take these two provinces, so it is going to be a little bit longer. And now we got 95% war score because I got Malindi out of here. So they actually might be all I need. Yep. Here we go, we get Ichi full annex Kilwa, I get Safala as a subject. And now we are the big boy over here. Okay, our truce with Mutapa's over, so yeah, guess what? We're just gonna do it. Just full annex Mutapa, have my subjects do all the work. We're just gonna sit and relax. So now that we're kind of in an era of peace, at least till my truce with Malindi's over and until I get boats so I can invade Madagascar over here, we're gonna start focusing on, for one, getting caught up in Diplotech here. For two, start deving up all these gold mines so all of a sudden we have an insane economy. And then at some point, after we get full annex everything in Zanzibar over here, we're gonna go ahead and annex all three of my subjects. What I'm gonna go ahead and do right now is we're actually gonna swap over to Diplo Focus. Okay, now that our truce with Malindi's over, we're gonna go ahead and invade them. This will, of course, call in Adal, who honestly is another underrated nation here in Africa. Not too many people really play as them. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and invade Malindi next. And you know what? While I'm at it, we're going to invade Pate as well. And our initial starting ruler is finally dead, so we got our 533. Really not bad. I will go with the Islam institution spread here. I actually think that's going to be pretty darn good for us. Alright, with this war done, Adal was easy. I literally just sieged down their capital. There are two Miltechs behind me, so it was extremely easy. And we are going to go ahead and invade Ajuran for one province over here. Just took out all 11,000 of their guys. I'm one Miltech ahead of Ajuran, but my guys just completely wiped the floors with them. Like I said, all that work just for one province. I did pillage their capital, so a little bit extra dev here in my capital, but still. At least we got all of that stuff. So now we just have to consolidate Madagascar. We own all of the Zanzibar trade node other than this one province and this one right here. I didn't show it, but I did take religious society as my third government reform. Next one we're probably going to go with like sustained discipline. That's about accurate. I don't really care for the other three options. Okay, we are going to go ahead and attack Sakalava over here. We do outnumber them, better Miltech. They're only allied to this guy right here. So we should be able to win this pretty easily. I just beat this guy's army here. I just learned about like 3 new cults, so that's pretty interesting. Even though they are also fetishist. Okay, so despite our naval incompetency, we were actually able to land here, and it was really easy war. So worked out in our favor, and now we can full annex them and get a good foothold in Madagascar. Also preemptively built spy networks on a couple nations, so yeah, we could go ahead and start invading all of these guys. And like that, all of a sudden, now we own all of Madagascar. We're just going to go ahead and get rid of this merc stack. And yeah, we're just going to sit here, chill, get caught up in technology, and deal with all of our millions of rebels that we have over here. Oh, and integrate all my subjects, probably all at once. Alright, so with all of our subjects completely annexed, all of our lands pretty much consolidated, as I mentioned earlier, we're just going to focus on trying to get the Renaissance right now. Luckily, we have 15 years before colonialism, but I do also have to pick up my very first idea group, which is going to be exploration ideas, because we need to get into Indonesia. We got kind of a few different things going on here. I may just save up for the idea group for right now, get the first couple ideas just to start colonizing, and then get the Renaissance. I'm also going to go ahead and start building like buildings everywhere and stuff. We're going to do this optimally. So I'm going to put up my chart that I typically use, but you know, this is what I use in order to build buildings optimally. I typically don't really care for being like an optimized, like min-maxy kind of player, but when it comes to buildings, I do notice a difference. So yeah, chart up on the screen now. Make sure you guys use it. Love it. It's a great chart. If you guys are curious in terms of trade currently, yeah, we have 100% in Zambezi and also 100% over here in Zanzibar. So yeah, we are dominating trade. We are the only people in these trade nodes right now, at least until the Europeans show up. And because our economy can handle it, we are supporting 2 colonies at once. One down here and also this island over here. Finally, I could also get an explorer. We could start finally finding out about the situation in Indonesia before we actually get over there. Alright, so we are going to go ahead, try getting the Renaissance at my capital here. The other option would be Lundu here. Actually, we'll do Lundu because it is a Gloss province, so it is a little bit cheaper. Plus we get our local dev. Yeah, and the sub 40. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start deving this up for a Renaissance. And this is a fantastic event right here, Prospering Times. I always choose the second option for the better production methods, unless it's a province that really does not have a good trade good. But otherwise, I always do this one. Finally, I took out a bunch of burger loans, so yeah, we could embrace the Renaissance. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's not going to make us a great power just yet, but that's okay. We're not worried about that just yet. Probably one of the most important things here is I'm going to go with the higher developed colonies. That's going to give our colonies a boost in terms of development once they are all done. Hopefully Protestant Reformation doesn't happen too soon, just because I want to maximize how much dev we are actually getting out of these colonies. Oh my god, I just got a perfect ruler, a straight 6. Oh my god, it's been forever since I've got one of those. Second idea group time, we're just going to go with innovative ideas. We're going to be playing catch up for the majority of this game, especially with the institutions, all that stuff. So yeah, this is going to be our best bet. Also too, when we eventually do take quality ideas, we're going to stack the infantry combat ability, so we're going to have even more infantry combat. Right, tier 5 government reform, we're not really doing much expansion right now, so we're just going to go with retain tribal hierarchy for that extra gov cap. And my perfect ruler is finally in charge of my entire country. Oh man. And he's a zealot too, which makes things even nicer, so we could actually convert everything over here. And again, Portugal doesn't know about me, so but their relations with me is actually kind of good. But I can ask them for colonialism, and now I don't have to dev up for it. Alright, I think it's time we invade the Maldives over here. They're just kind of here, so yeah, let's go ahead and invade them. They're also the same color as us, and you know, might as well take out any other red nation along the way. And thanks to our pal Portugal, who didn't know that we existed, we now have colonialism, and now we're a great power. In fact, we are the number 7 great power, just a little bit ahead of Portugal now. Right, so I started colonizing over here, so I got these 2 islands, and Indrapur over here is actually willingly wanting to become my vassal, so boom. We've officially landed onto the mainland of Indonesia just peacefully. If I could get some of these other guys to also do this, that would be amazing. I mean, this guy's very, very close, honestly. Tell you what, even though we started out as like one of the most technologically behind nations in the entire game, thanks to innovative ideas and the fact I'm starting to invest into the city of Kami here, yeah, we are one of the better looking technologically advanced countries right now, just slightly behind Portugal by like one technology, but that's really not bad at all. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm able to support 3 colonies right now, because if I only had like just 1 colony, I'd be making like almost 50 ducats right now. I'm spending about 17 ducats in colonial maintenance, 23 ducats just monthly, so yeah, our economy's rocking and rolling really, really well right now. Also, I just vassalized Pahang, and I'm working on vassalizing this guy over here next. I also was able to just snipe Bali away from Sunda, so that's another just free subject with numerous provinces that's just fantastic. We also just got the 10% goods produced in our ideas, so that means we're going to get a little bit more out of our gold provinces. Obviously, our gold provinces could be producing a little bit more. I do have to dev them up just a little bit more. This one's currently at 11. This one's at 6. 1 and 1. So, and I think Kilwad's up there too. Yeah, we can bring that up as well. Okay, finally I can choose my final government reform here. We're just going to go with reform into a monarchy. It's a pretty good option, honestly. Sad day as my perfect ruler has finally died. Oh man. Because I'm such a great persuader, I've been able to just simply diplo-vassalize most of the Malaya region over here. And I'm going to unleash this vassal swarm on a lot of these guys all of a sudden. We're going to start invading like Pasai here. I mean, I'm not going to co-belligerent this guy, but we will do a reconquest. And my vassals are going to do most of the work here. And with me being like the only nation over here with guns and being like ahead of everybody by like 2-3 mil techs, this battle should honestly be super easy. Yeah. That is very, very easy. And actually their whole army's retreating right here, and it may be a stack wipe. It is. Perfect. Alright, let's go ahead and invade Malacca next. We're going to get some cores back for Palembang, who's now my vassal. Also, interesting update, if I really wanted to, I could convert to either Islam or any one of the Dharmic religions like Hindu or Buddhist now. It should be interesting making this whole area Buddhist. Alright, I think it's time we finally invade Sunda here. I don't know if I'm going to release out Majapahit. I probably should. Instead of feeding all this to Bali, that would probably be the more efficient thing here. Finally pushed this guy out of Bali, man. These guys have been a freaking pain to invade. Lanfang finally stack webbed there, guys. Sunda finally stack webbed there, guys. They had me trapped on Sumbawa for the longest time. I finally pushed off of there, and look, stack wipes their entire army. They're done. Don't have to worry about Sunda anymore. Man, that was an unnecessarily difficult war for no reason. So this is what I did to Sunda, and I'm going to release out Demak out of these guys. But yeah, we cut Sunda in half. I also invaded Delhi over here. That's right, the Indonesian Delhi over here. Which did call on Sunda again, so I'll be able to white piece these guys in 5 years. I'll be able to full annex them. Alright, so if you guys know me, in most of my games, Bengal's typically my enemy, but for once I could actually join forces with the nation that I typically am always at odds with. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, start integrating some of my Indonesian pals over here, starting with Indrapur over here, and then probably moving on to anybody that doesn't really have a large navy, like Palembang. Then this guy, and then, yeah, just kind of go from there. So fourth idea group time, I'm leaning towards economic ideas. It pairs up very nicely with quality ideas. Get that extra 5% discipline, which is very much needed. Plus we get an additional merchant. The yearly inflation reduction is very nice because most of our economy is based on gold right now. Production efficiency and that goods produced will stack very well with our Maravi ideas. Alright, so I've apparently made the mistake of upgrading my navy because me upgrading my ships made all my subjects very upset, and now Siak is supporting 3 of these bad boys. So yeah, we're gonna have to end up going to war against these guys just in order to stop them from supporting my subjects' independence. I mean, I was planning on attacking them anyways, but this only speeds up the process. Alright, so we are gonna go ahead, full annex Siak here. I'm gonna split it between my 2 subjects. Yeah, a lot of people are gonna get AE with me, aka just Brunei and Sunda. I don't know if I want to go to war against Kutai because I don't know. Kutai's not like that bad. I don't mind him that much. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and attack Lanfang here. Expand my actually no. We're gonna sit here, we're gonna wait a little bit. Hope, you know, just continue to integrate some subjects. And it looks like the Emperor actually won the Protestant League. Good for them. The HRE is gonna be very Catholic. And actually Europe's pretty Catholic for the most part. Even most of Scandinavia is very Catholic this run. So poor Poland is just a complete mess. Alright, we are going to go ahead and attack Lanfang over here, which will drag in Sunda. That'll allow me to white piece them out. Then this way, I actually have a shorter truce with them. Because my truce doesn't end until like 1608, so, you know, we'll say by 1602. Alright, so now with both Kutai and Lanfang out of the way, we are going to focus on Brunei. Now, Brunei will probably take 2 wars. It's not the worst. So we'll drag us into a war against Bone over here, which I probably, yeah, would not be able to full annex, but I can pretty much take all the provinces I have a claim on thanks to my estates. And Sulu, the little island boy over here, will probably be able to full annex him. I don't think there will be a problem with that at all. So yeah, we're just gonna not waste any more time, and we're just gonna go straight into attacking Brunei. So this is interesting. I never knew that this could actually happen. As long as we own cloves, we can actually grow cloves in Zanzibar. Now, why is that such a big deal? Because if you mouse over cloves, I mean, for one, they give you 8, they're worth a base of 8 ducats here. Plus the local trade power modifier is disgusting. And when you build a trade station here, oh my goodness, the amount of money you make off of that one trade good is ridiculous. And all of a sudden, Banjar is looking very, very big. Yeah, my subject went from being some small, insignificant little country over here to all of a sudden being the largest nation over here. And pretty much all we have to do is just attack Sunda, full annex them, and we own pretty much everything that I want to own other than like the rest of Bone and then Button over here. And we'll gear up for a war against Ayutthaya. Basically kick them completely out of the Malaya region. Alright, now I may be at negative 149 diplo power every month, but that's not gonna stop me from going ahead and annexing both Ake and this guy down here. In the meantime, as I mentioned earlier, we are just gonna go ahead and invade Sunda, wipe them out, and call it a day with them. Okay, so I thought I'd actually be able to full annex Sunda. Turns out there's just going to be 2 provinces now. So yeah, we'll come back for them a little bit later. So it's been a little bit since I've looked over back at my home country of my home continent of Africa, and I know Katara is actually a thing. And if you guys haven't seen my video on Katara just yet, go make sure that you guys check it out right away, because this nation is very underrated. A very good formidable nation that I recently discovered thanks to Parabellum. Alright, I do think it is time I go ahead and invade Ayutthaya. Bengal did just start their own war against Ava. I really don't care in helping them out. All that matters to me is just simply getting Bengal into a war against Ayutthaya so I could just demolish these guys. Alright, with everybody completely just annihilated here in terms of like Brunei, Majapahit, Sunda, you know, Malacca, Siak, all those guys. All I have to do is just simply annex my subjects and we'll call it a campaign. The issue I'm facing now is that half of these guys are very much upset with me, and now Spain and Portugal are supporting their independence. Okay, so I went a little crazy here. I'm invading Spain for this one province, not to take it actually, but just to get them to stop supporting the independence of my subject. And I declared a humiliation war on Shun, who also is supporting the independence of my subjects. As you guys can see, they're now relatively loyal. They're from Patani, which I really don't understand why I've had trouble with these guys. Okay, so I ended up winning my war against Spain and Portugal. It helped. So I was already winning by like 24 war score, but then Mr. England over here decided to intervene on our behalf, and immediately Spain's war enthusiasm just went from positive to just, low war enthusiasm. Meanwhile, in this war, yeah, I'm losing by minus 87, but that's because I haven't had any like troops over here at all. Meanwhile, Korea literally attritioned itself to death. June is about to do the same, and I'm about to do a massive pushback and end up winning this war. Even though I am just slightly outnumbered, but it really shouldn't be that bad. Even if I could just simply get a white piece, just so I could just integrate my subjects, and I'll just be freaking happy. And I mean, this definitely helps when a whole country's going through a civil war, pretty much. And finally, I just annexed Aceh, or Aceh, however you say it. Now, I could actually become an empire. Oh man, that's fantastic. So now our gov cap's way higher. And all this land over here is now all part of my culture. Also, Shun apparently decided to land troops over here. Yeah, we're gonna hire like the Grand Company to just deal with that real fast. Pretty much push the entire fight over here to Shun. All I have to do is occupy their capital. I own the war goal, and then we could probably white piece these guys out. There we go. We now own their capital. I'm just gonna white piece. All I needed to do. And now, since Aceh is now completely annexed, these guys aren't really as disloyal. So now I can just focus completely on annexing them without really any problems. I mean, okay, Portugal. I actually did not expect that, but okay, game. Okay, so I can pretty much buy myself out of this war by giving up about 3,000 ducats. I'm winning by like 17%, but they landed on Banjar over here, and my war score is just going to get worse, so I'm okay with giving up money. Okay, now this is interesting. Siamese Revolution. Not too often you get to see that in E4. So Portugal decided, you know what? It's time to threaten some war, and yeah, we're going to decline this. I could probably ally another nation or two just to really screw up Portugal here. Like, I could definitely get Holland. Holland would actually be... Alright, so Portugal decided, you know what? Now's a darn good time to threaten war with Maravi. Sure, I've tried invading these guys 3 times, but 4th time's a charm. And they really want my province of Zimbabwe. What I'm going to go ahead and do, actually, is I'm going to go ahead and ally Holland. I'm going to decline this. And all my allies joined, and yep, we are now... Oh, apparently Castile's in here. But we are now at war with Portugal and Castile yet again. And to make things even worse, my ruler just died. But on the bright side, we did get a pretty decent ruler, 643. I also didn't realize, but apparently England actually got involved in this war. So that definitely helps, especially since they have 219,000 troops out in the field. Alright, luckily, thanks to England basically being a punching bag to the Spanish, we had actually white piece out the Spanish, and all of a sudden Portugal's not feeling too good about this war. Literally just me and all my allies, England included, not feeling too good. But we could definitely get Portugal out of here. The best option would honestly be just to get them to give up claims on my land over here, but I don't think we'll be able to do that. So I'll just take a piece where they just give me money, and I will be on my merry way. Well, this may be a problem here. Who are we at war with now? Spain and Portugal again. Oh, these Iberian dudes just won't leave me alone. Finally, I could get Portugal out of this war. This war is brutal just because Castile has gotten an event which gives them an additional 15% morale, the full Elan event. Luckily, I could get these guys out of here, so that definitely helps. I'm about to get my capital back. There we go. And honestly, if I could just simply get a white piece, that would literally just be just a win for me here. Like, I mean, you know, I got so many guys here and stuff, but that morale is just disgusting right now. That 15% full Elan. Thank goodness I could actually get a white piece with these guys. Oh my god. Stupid Spanish imperialist war. Like, look at the amount of casualties here. I mean, like, I lost almost 500,000 guys. The Spanish lost almost 1,000,000 guys. That's ridiculous. And then this is our colonial empire, the Moravian East Indies. Is it all fetishist? No. Some of the provinces are, but really did it for the memes, to be honest with you. To make it look like Macha Pahit owns all this, but in reality, it's actually Maravi. And this is what our actual country over here looks like. Well, development-wise, I mean, like, our province is pretty decent, you know. This isn't really a nation built for playing tall, but I mean, you could. These are my ideas. Economically, doing pretty decent. My gold income has been gradually going down because I keep getting events in which all my gold mines actually keep getting depleted. So, rip my gold income. As you guys can see, I'm making actually a lot of money from trade right now, specifically Malacca over here, because we do own, should be higher than that, 54%, but we're collecting trade over here. Earlier, I was attempting to just push this trade along the way over here to Zanzibar, but it actually made more sense to just simply move my trade port here and collect more trade here. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.